Hey, welcome to our Monday live broadcast, and welcome if you're joining this on the rebroadcast, which will be posted on my Facebook page as well as my YouTube channel once we end this live broadcast. Today, we are going to be talking about, or I'm going to be asking the question, are you using fasting as an excuse? And I'll get into a little more detail about that in just a second. Welcome if you're jumping on live with us. I always ask that you please leave a comment in the comment section so that I know that you are here. After the end of my discussion, I always open up the floor to answering questions and comments and welcoming everyone who is catching this live with us. If you're catching this on the rebroadcast, I also ask that you please take a second to leave me a comment. That way I know that you have stopped by and I can have a conversation or answer any questions or comments you have, or just simply welcome you and thank you for being here with us on the rebroadcast audience as well. For those of you who are new, my name is Diane, and for the past 25 years, I have been helping women find nutritional plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And we are doing that here in this community through the process of intermittent fasting and developing a keto-like lifestyle that will in fact allow you to live your most authentic life. So the question I want to ask today is, are you using fasting as an excuse? And I'm asking that question on a Monday because there are so many women who come to me and their biggest struggle or the biggest question that they have or I guess issue that they're having with fasting is not fasting at all. It is what happens when you open up your feasting window and the decisions that we're making when we actually have choices available to us and when we actually have opportunities to do something. We know that when we're in a fasted state and when we're in a clean fasted state, which is really what I teach in our intermittent fasting for today's aging women's course, that's where we really have the opportunity to reverse some of these things that are going on with us hormonally. And we have an opportunity to reduce the inflammation we have in our bodies. We have all this energy and excitement backed up to all these amazing things that are happening to us, and we have nothing to do and no decisions to make. You just fast for a good, solid part of your day. And then we open up that feasting window, and suddenly we have this opportunity to make decisions. And we have all of these options in front of us. And for a lot of us, and I say us because I was also on that struggle bus with feasting for so long when I was thinking that I was doing everything correctly in my fasting window and I thought I was doing everything correctly in my feasting window, and I was listening to all that outside advice thinking, well, if you fast, then you can do whatever you want to do in your feast. And the reality is, oftentimes when you incorporate just the fasting aspect of this lifestyle and you don't take the time to really consider what it is you're doing in your feasting window, that is really where we have the struggle. I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions, and this is the questions I want to ask to the rebroadcast viewers as well as the people who are joining us live today. How many of you started your day today as a day one or a Monday in which you were going to start over and really be focused on what it is that you're going to do with this lifestyle? So you can drop a little, hand in the emoji comments if you guys want, or whatever it is that you want to say in that comments, and share with us how many of us are in this situation where we take advantage of the fasting opportunity in a way that when we open up that feast, we really kind of lose the common sense aspect of what nutrition can really do to us and how it can be the detriment to our success. So if you use today as it's a Monday, I'm going to start over, or today's my day one, or I'm really going to make sure I hone in on this correctly this week, please leave me a comment in the comment section or just leave me a little emoji. I want to know how many of you are still in this thought process and the struggle with your feasting. And here's why I want us to open up this conversation and really come to grips with this. When you use Monday as the day that you're starting over, or you're using Monday as the day one, or you're using Monday as I'm finally going to do this right for myself, you're living in that perpetual diet mentality of constantly starting over, constantly using a fresh week as an opportunity to get things right, as that way to shake off all those bad decisions you made over the weekend. And in bad, I really do want to emphasize the way we rationalize bad, because in my opinion, and what I really try to teach and emphasize in this community, is there's really no bad food. Like, there is absolutely no category of food that I think is bad in general and overall. There are just bad foods for individual people, or bad foods in the instance of it's going to keep you from looking and feeling your best and living your most authentic life. And if you're stepping into this lifestyle of intermittent fasting and living a keto-like lifestyle, but you're bringing along with it that dieter's mentality, I promise you, you will always be in that like hamster wheel of the dieting success, dieting failure, dieting success, dieting failure. Remember, intermittent fasting and developing a keto-like lifestyle that's authentic to you is a very individual and personal way to create a lifestyle for yourself that has nothing to do with dieting. We don't have an end date. We don't have a food plan that we necessarily need to follow. We don't have to count calories. We don't really have to manage our macros. What we do have to do is become very honest with ourselves, and we have to become very realistic about what nutrition and, or in this community, what we like to call feasting, can do for us or can do against us. And so we really want to focus on what it is that we want for ourselves. And if you're constantly living in that, I'm going to fast all day and do whatever I want during my feast, you're going to always be in that catch-up stage. You're never going to be able to really take advantage of what this lifestyle can do, and especially what it can do for this community of women. Women going through this aging process where the things we used to be able to do in our fitness and the things we used to be able to do in our nutritional life just no longer works for us. And we have to be able to come to grips with, there are just decisions that we make every day. And those decisions are either going to take you to your end goal, or they're going to keep you from reaching that end goal. And both of those situations are totally okay. There's nothing wrong with living that lifestyle or that thought process around what you're doing with your fasting and your feasting, unless you're living unhappily with your body and what you're doing when you're fasting and feasting. And then starting every Monday with the hope that this will be the week that you finally treat yourself well, right? This will be the week that it's going to stick. This is going to be the week that when I open up that feasting window, everything's going to finally click for me, or I'm going to be able to say no to those things that are keeping me from reaching my goals. And it is really a decision of how bad do you want what you say you want. And I've shared with you guys before. My amazing husband said so lovingly to me that, I'm one avocado oil bag of chips away from being really happy with my body. And avocado chips are totally healthy, right? Like, I should be able to eat whatever I want, but are they necessary, right? Are they necessary? And are they those things that are keeping me from really achieving the goals that I say that I want for myself? And nothing will ever trump good common sense nutritional information and really good common sense nutritional choices. We have to be able to come to grips with this in order to feel like we are taking full advantage of what we're doing in our fasting window. Fasting works. Feasting well is just that added bonus that is going to make whatever it is you're doing in your fasting window pay off for you. So if you're fasting long and you're fasting clean, and then you open up your feasting window and all of that nutritional common sense goes out the door because you feel like you've sacrificed enough to earn that right to do whatever it is you want to do in your feasting window, then you're going to constantly be disappointed and feeling like intermittent fasting and living this lifestyle is not working for you. And trust me, it works for everyone who's committed to getting what it is they say they want for themselves. So don't let Monday be that day that you're going to constantly hold on to, hoping that this one Monday is going to be that Monday that everything is going to click for you. And I encourage you to treat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all the same. Treat them all the same. Don't pick a day that you're going to start over. Pick a day that you're going to continue on with this journey and just refine it. And for some people, perfect it. And for others, just enjoy it a little bit more for the benefits that it can bring for you. And don't rely on or use fasting as an excuse for what it is that you're doing in your feasting window, or even why it is that you're not being successful with what it is that you say you want to have with your physique, with what it is that's going on with you with the aging process, or how it is that you're feeling every single day when you wake up. You should really be able to have the energy that you know that you deserve to have, the mental clarity that you need to have to get through your day, and the optimism to get through whatever it is that you might be struggling with as this aging process starts to set in with you. Fasting and feasting are the combination, and they need to go in place together where they complement each other. We do not want to have one aspect of that rob or take away the benefits of the other. There will be times when you can loosen the reins. There will be times when you can, have those fun things that you want to have, or feel like you want to add in some of those celebratory types of things. That is what we call living the authentic aspect of this lifestyle. But we can't let those things creep in more often than we are really counting, or more often than we're willing to admit to. So we do have to go back to refining what good common sense nutrition is for each one of us as individuals. And remember, it's not cookie cutter. You have to take the time to research what works for you, take the time in listening to the signs and signals that your body is sending you, making sure that you're putting in the nutrition that your body needs to function at its best. And then you need to be consistent with it for a long enough period of time where you recognize the difference between looking and feeling your best while living your life most authentically, and falling just a little bit short. And then not using the day of a week or the flip of a calendar to a new month to justify some of the things that you've done in the past. Every day should be a continuous process of making really conscious decisions about what it is you're doing in your fasting window and what it is you're doing in your feasting window, and you just make a new decision every single day. I say that in this lifestyle, to be really successful, you have two questions that you should be asking yourself every day. How long will I fast today, and how well will I feast? You should not be looking ahead at the day that you're going to start over, or the day that you're going to use as a justification for bad decisions you're making today. And I mean bad in the sense that at the end of that decision making process, or the end of the event in which you made those decisions, you're going to come out of it not feeling good about yourself, or not feeling good about what you just experienced. So 2 questions every day. They should be fluid questions that you just ask yourself, like you ask yourself, about brushing your teeth or getting out of bed, what time you're going to start your day. 2 questions. How long will I fast, and how well will I feast? And the level in which you can answer those 2 questions for yourself will ultimately determine the success that you're going to have, and the longevity of this lifestyle that you'll be able to create for yourself, and ultimately how satisfied you're going to feel about how you look, how you feel, and how you face your lifestyle every day, about choices you're going to make with food. And is that going to be something that you feel deep down in who you are is going to be authentic, and an authentic way of living for yourself? So hopefully we can stop using Monday as our escapism day, or our day to forgive ourselves for the food sins that we made over the weekend. Remember, it is just choices that you're making, and nothing that you can do on Monday, trust me, will make up for what it is that you did over the weekend. It all is just a continuous process. And the more consistent you are about making decisions that are going to help you get to that place that you want, the faster that place is going to arrive for you. And then the continuation of those 2 decisions every day will just keep you there. And once you get there, trust me, you definitely don't want to lose it. So let me see who is joining us here on Facebook today, and then I will jump on over to YouTube and welcome you guys there. Make sure you leave me a question or comment so that I can welcome you when I pop into YouTube. Amy, thanks for jumping on. Kara's here. Janet, hello from Nevada. Good to have you with us live. Diane, hello. Deborah, Marta, Janet, nope, I don't do overs. I just do the best I can every day. Janet, that's for sure, and that's because you have been a good student. We definitely try to teach shaking off that dieting mentality, and you know, we have a philosophy in this community of you can fast anything away. You can fast a bad mood away. You can fast away a feeling that you have, that maybe something, a signal that you got or a symptom that you got from making a decision about a food that didn't make you feel your best. You can fast away just about everything, but you don't want to use fasting as the excuse for making bad decisions on the forefront. And there is a big emotional and mental difference in how you handle all of that emotionally, and how you really do start breaking some of these chains of being a dieter. And we know that dieting is that thing that just doesn't work for us in the long run. It does so much damage to our bodies. It does so much damage to us mentally and emotionally, and even self-confidence wise. So we want to stop thinking that way and just own the decisions that we make, and then just keep moving forward with those decisions. Deborah, I can also do better. Seem to be at a standstill for weight and inches. Need to really look at my feasting window. Need to up the good fats. Yeah, for sure. You know, and there are so many of those. I want to say like probably like the younger generation of intermittent fasters, you know, and now fortunately there's just so much more research coming out, and scientific data to, you know, to show what good fats and bad fats are and all that. But you know, there's a big difference between eating an avocado and some pork rinds, and what that's going to do for you in the long run, health and wellness wise. So we want to make sure that when we are picking those healthy fats, that they are good healthy fats, not just fat. That when we are picking that moderate to low protein, it is good quality protein that your body can digest and put to use. And then when we are adding in those conscious carbohydrates, are we really making good conscious carbohydrate choices? And when you are, you don't have to really stress out about managing those macros. Just know that you're making good, sound, nutritional choices about what kind of carbohydrates you're going to put in your body. And there is a difference between a big healthy salad and a piece of cake. Carb to carb, there's a huge difference, and you want to make sure that you're making those new nutritionally dense type of decisions for yourself, and not just counting those macros. Are they the right macros that your body needs if you're going to be counting them? For sure. Sherry, good to have you on with us. Guilty, I definitely this weekend had gotten comfortable with using fasting as an excuse to eat the things that don't fare well with my body, and said I will just fast it away. I did that this weekend and made a decision. I will fast 24 hours. I have already made the decision to get back on many more conscious feasting and get back to the basics and what worked for me when I first started the course, and I am excited about it. Yeah, Sherry, that's awesome. And you know, I think sometimes just coming back to consciousness about it, right? I mean, we have our things that we do too. I think the big thing that's clicked for me at this stage of life that I'm in is that I don't feel guilty, and I don't try to make up for lost time. So I was sharing with Kara today, you know, we had Krispy Kremes in our house this weekend, and we all ate Krispy Kremes. But I'm not punishing myself today for it. I had a 30-minute, pretty moderate workout. I'm fasting the way I had on my schedule that I fast every Monday. I'm not trying to make up for lost time. I'm definitely not starting over today. It's just a continuation of the life that I'm living. And so you can factor in some of those things, and it's all just about the mentality of it. Remember, fasting is super simple. It's how we view fasting that makes it really difficult. And feasting is the same way. Feasting is very simple, and life's too short to not enjoy the foods that you like. But how are you handling that emotionally and mentally? And are you punishing yourself by constantly having to have a day that you start over? And it is tiring and it is emotionally exhausting to feel like every Monday has to be a day one. Every Monday should just be a Monday, and you're just going to continue on doing what it is that you know that you need to do to have the lifestyle that you want to live and the health that you want to have. Sherry, because even though I had a great result, I am far from my personal goal. Yeah, and I think we all get to that place where we feel far from our personal goal. And that's okay too. But what you want to do is you want to also take the time to find some joy in the moments along the way too. If you're constantly chasing perfection with your body, it's exhausting and it's disappointing. So make sure you're pausing for those wins along the way as well, so that you reinforce what it is you're doing and how you're feeling about the decisions that you're making. Renee, to allow yourself to have some of your special favorites, treats, a glass of wine, appetizers, desserts, for example. Yeah, exactly. Sherry, I swear God must be in your ear about where I am at, because you always seem to go live about specifically where I'm at on my journey. Grateful to you. Yeah, it's because I'm real and I'm just like you guys. And I think of these things, and I think of Mondays, and when I used to be in the business of helping women with fitness goals and nutritional goals, and I was working in a different aspect of things, and it was like, oh, it's Monday, you can start over, and oh, it's a new month, we're gonna start fresh, and that really isn't a healthy way emotionally to live around food, and it's very limiting, and it's very self-sabotaging, and we should really just own what it is we're doing. And yeah, it's okay if you're far from your goals or you personally have some higher aspirations, that's okay too, but you have to find some joy in your day as well. And I think just continuing through a Monday from the weekend is a really mentally and emotionally more energized way to start a new week. Janet, I've maintained my healthy A1C and a 35-pound weight loss for over 6 months now, and happy with the plan I developed for myself, including when I eat and what I eat. Yeah, Janet, that's awesome. And you are definitely struggling with, I know what you had going on with your A1C, so to be able to maintain that is fantastic. And I know you're happy, which is a really great bonus to that lifestyle you've created for yourself as well. Deborah, my days are all the same but still strong on 24 fasting, doing the best for myself. Could I be better? Absolutely. Yeah, we all can be better, because there's no such thing as perfect, right? So if we were all perfect, then we would have nothing to ever work toward or have to maintain. So I think we should always be in that place of we could be better, but we also have to be okay with that and not beat ourselves up or feel like we're falling short. So I think that's great, Deborah. Janet, you are a good teacher and mentor. Thank you for everything. Oh, Janet, thanks for being such a great student and for trusting me. Sue, still learning to make good choices. Yeah, and it's a process. And here's the other part that's hard about making good choices, and especially in this type of environment, is there's always that new healthy thing out there, right, to try. And so sometimes we get a little distracted and thrown off course with that as well, when really, it's the basics that are going to be the thing that are going to be tried and true for us. And you just want to get really good nutrient dense foods in your life, supplement where you need to, and just, like I said, just use really good common sense. Carmen, started in October and lost 5 pounds and a total of 1.5 inches in your bust, waist, and hip area. Blood work results coming on Friday. Can't wait. Oh, girlfriend, you have to make sure you share those blood work results with us. That's like my favorite thing to share in this community, because blood work never lies. And so make sure, if you're comfortable, share that with us when we go live next Monday, because you're going to get your blood work on Friday. So I can't wait to meet up with you next Monday for sure. Georgia, hello. Maxine, hello. Debbie, hello. Let's see. Polly's here. Keto lady, today is my day 1 for water fasting. Well, good. How many days are you going to water fast? Naushin, can I have at least 1 day cheat day while intermittent fasting? We don't call it cheat days. I call them decision days, basically. Cheating implies that there should be some guilt associated with that. So just pick whatever you want to do for a day and own it and move on to your next day. I don't like to refer to anything that you're doing in your feasting as a cheat. Cece, hello. Debbie, hello. Elise from New Jersey's here. Danny from the October course. Awesome, girlfriend. Nice to have you here. Where can we get those cute fasting shirts? We had a shop where we sold them, and it got a little overwhelming, and it distracted me from teaching these kind of things. So we're working on getting the shop opened back up. But do me a favor, Danny, and email me. And I have a limited supply of styles and sizes, and I'll see if I can find something that you want in your size, and we can get you hooked up that way. So just email me. Ruth Ann, thank you so much. You're very welcome, girlfriend. I am feeling comfortable with feasting in a responsible way that is more a lifestyle. This is an experience I have never had with eating before. What a relief. Thank you so much. Yeah, Debbie, you're so welcome. And I think that's the place that I'm at too, is I own what I do, and I like that feeling of not having to make up for lost time. And the whole like cheat meal thing, like we don't talk about that anymore. We just really make solid decisions. And I think sometimes you do kind of have to lighten up the reins a little bit, and it keeps this whole lifestyle fun where it doesn't become so routine. Because in our house, we're very habit eaters. We'll eat the same thing repeatedly. And so mixing it up a little bit does kind of just bring a little bit of freshness to the lifestyle, what you're doing in your feasting. You just want to make sure you're not doing things that make you feel sick or make you feel like you're going to have to spend a day in bed. And that's really where that authentic part comes in, listening to the signs and signals that your body is sending you. Michelle from Georgia, starting this week with a 24-hour water fast, then IF and feasting well, our reminder of the week. Okay, awesome, good. Lisa from England, good to have you with us, girlfriend. Trudy, doing my fasting today, trying for 8-6 every day and eventually 1 meal a day. I'm going to reread my course notes from last year. Yeah, Trudy, do that. It's amazing how once we just bring this information back to the forefront of our mind, we realize how simple this is and how important it is for us to do this on a continuous basis and just making good decisions for ourselves. So Trudy, I'm proud of you for going back to your notes. Francie from Vancouver Island, welcome, girlfriend. Tammy, after eating keto for 2 months, I no longer have blood sugar issues. Awesome. That's the goal for sure. And then Mary from New Jersey, welcome. So we have a course starting this coming up weekend on the 5th of November. If you're confused about what to do about incorporating intermittent fasting and a keto-like lifestyle into your life, definitely feel free to jump into our course. Registration's open. I teach you in 3 weeks how to make common sense out of all of this that we're doing, and how to really debunk a lot of the myths that are out there about fasting and how you should be fasting correctly and what it can and cannot do for you. And I also give you an opportunity to really think about what it is that you want to do with your feasting and how to figure out how to finally make decisions for yourself and no longer be sort of a slave to needing someone else to tell you what to do. We are grown-up women who should be able to make food choices for ourselves. And I think we've gotten so caught up into that diet mentality of having someone tell you how many calories you need to eat, when you need to eat, what you need to eat, has really made us become so unconscious about feeding ourselves. So we do want to make sure that we come back into that conscious state and think about what makes us happy, think about what makes us feel our best, and think about what makes us feel and act authentic in our everyday life. And we are the only ones that can do that for ourselves. There's no phase that you need to follow. There's no diet that you need to follow. There's no food plan from someone else that you need to follow. Think about what you have readily available to you. Think about what financially makes good sense to you as far as nutrient-dense foods. Think about what your family enjoys, what brings you guys together to really share in what a meal is. A meal should be something that we use to really nourish every aspect of our life, and we need to stop using it as a punishment or a sense of guilt that we imply on ourselves, or something that's utilized for other things other than just nourishing ourselves and really having a time to pay back our body for all the good that it's doing. Ginger, I'm a little late to this, but it sounds like it is exactly what I have been thinking about. I spent some time yesterday recalling my why for this journey and determining to stay on track with what is best for my body. Ginger, good for you, girlfriend. And yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. Really figuring out what your why is will help you stay on track. And I guarantee you, if your why is just aesthetically geared, you will fall in and out of this very quickly. If your why is deep seated and it is emotional to you, which really brings you back to you wanting to look and feel your best. And yes, I do put the look part first, because I think that when we get that little win of we look good in our own skin to ourselves, then the feeling part is right there and the authentic part is right there, and that longevity of this lifestyle will stay because we stop cheating on ourselves with food, we stop punishing ourselves with food, we stop using food as a tool in a way in which it was never designed to be. And fasting should be the precursor to what you're doing in your feast. And when you fast long and you fast clean and you put your body in that state of internal healing, the last thing you want to do is expose a vulnerable body to really crappy food. You want to think about that state that your body is in when you're about to break that fast. And why would you want to put anything but nutrient dense energy into your body? And when you think about it that way and you visualize it that way, it really does help you make better decisions for yourself. Pam, after 6 months of IF, 18.6 and high carb, low fat, 20 carbs or less, upping my carbs to about 30 since down to 105 and 5. Yeah, and that's a thing too. You always want to make sure that you are changing things around. And there's so many women out there who think that just because you've reached your goal weight or you've reached the physique that you want, that you're going to starve to death if you fast and feast well. And that's just not the case either. Our bodies are more intelligent than that. You just play around with some things and loosen up some reins and everything will balance out for sure. Okay, so I am going to jump out of here today. Please make sure that if you use today as an excuse to make up for bad decisions over the weekend, or what you feel are bad decisions over the weekend, that today will be the last Monday that you do that. Give yourself permission to just live out a Monday for what it is. It's a Monday. It's not an opportunity to make up for lost time. It's an opportunity to live in the moment, embrace what you're going to do with your fast today, work out in a way that's going to enhance what it is that you want to do for the longevity and the movement and the flexibility of your body, and then make good feasting choices that will allow you to have an amazing fast through tomorrow. Remember, there's no bad food decisions. There's just food that makes you feel bad. I hope you will spend the rest of your Monday making decisions about whatever it is you're going to do in your fast and whatever it is you're going to do in your feast that will lead you to looking and feeling your best and living your most authentic life. I would love to see you in our November Intermittent Fasting for Today's Age and Woman course. If you have not taken our course yet, it is an amazing opportunity to really change what you have going on with your life, and more importantly, change what you have going on with your mindset. Thanks, you guys. I'll see you Wednesday.